to the Loyola women's volleyball schedule as they look to redeem their A10 championship title.
Plus, a story from Chicago's Special Olympics trials as athletes compete for the spot in the spring games.
Also, it's National Women's History Month, and we are highlighting some of the top women in sports.
I'm Nate Keough.
And I'm Glenna Wethington.
All this and so much more.
Rambler Sports Locker begins now.
Welcome back, sports fans.
Spring is here, which means more sunshine and more home runs.
That's right, and plenty of home runs were hit in this year's World Baseball Classic, which concluded on Tuesday night when Team Japan captured their third WBC title, defeating Team USA in the championship by a score of 3-2. Japanese sensation Shohei Ohtani pitched the final inning and earned the final out by striking out Angels teammate Mike Trout. This year's WBC was the best attended and the most viewed in the competition's history and provides a lot of hype heading into the MLB season starting next week.
Well, I can't wait to cheer on the Cubs. To celebrate Women's History Month, we are honoring the accomplishments of female athletes and the strides they continue to make for gender equity. Amelia Villhauer highlights some pioneering women in sports.
March may almost be over, but we can't let it end without honoring famous female athletes for International Women's History Month. Let's look at a few of the women and their powerful impact on the world of sports. To start, we have Wilma Rudolph. When Rudolph was 5 years old, she was told she would never be able to walk again due to her polio diagnosis. She went on to be a track and field champion and at the 1960 Olympics broke multiple world records by being the first American woman to win 3 gold medals in one Olympics. She even won the title of the fastest woman in the world and became the most famous black athlete of the time and was an icon in civil rights and women's rights movements and inspired following generations. And finally, one of the most iconic female athletes possibly of all time, Serena Williams. This famous American tennis player has revolutionized women's tennis and has won more Grand Slam singles titles than any other man or woman in the Open era. She has 39 Grand Slam titles, is a 4-time Olympic gold medalist, and has won more career prize money than any other female athlete. Williams was named the AP Female Athlete of the Decade for her dominance in the 2010s. She still continues to inspire athletes across the world to this day. And that's a wrap. These are a very small fraction of women who have done so much for the world of sports, and there are many more to come. For Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Amelia Villhauer.
Thanks, Amelia. We'll now shift our focus to the racetrack, where an unusual penalty was given to a Formula One driver at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix earlier this week. Chloe Morrissey has the details.
Formula One driver Fernando Alonso's win last Sunday at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix looks set to be short-lived after he received a penalty that bumped him down to 4th place. The first penalty issued against Alonso was a 5-second penalty for being out of position at the beginning of the race. This later grew to a 10-second penalty issued after the race when an Aston Martin pit crew member made contact with Alonso's car with a rear jack. This may seem like nothing out of the ordinary, but Alonso was serving his first 5-second penalty while in the pit, meaning crew members are not allowed to make any contact, which is deemed working on the car, until that 5 seconds is up. This penalty decision was reversed hours later, and Alonso is now the 6th driver to take home 100 podium finishes in Formula One history. For Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Chloe Morrissey.
Thanks, Chloe. There's never a dull moment when it comes to Formula One. Now, time to honor a legend. NBA Hall of Famer and 2-time NBA champion Willis Reed passed away on Tuesday at the age of 80. Reed played for the New York Knicks from 1964 to 1974. He won back-to-back titles with the Knicks in 70 and 71 and was named League MVP and Finals MVP in 1970. Reed was honored as one of the league's greatest players as part of the NBA's 75th anniversary team. It's no doubt basketball lost a legend this week.
Competing in the 100-meter dash and long jump may seem like typical events for track runners, but for athletes with intellectual disabilities, it is an opportunity to demonstrate courage and build friendships within their community.
Last month, the Chicago Park District hosted the Special Olympic Track and Field Trials where athletes competed for a spot in the spring games. Reporter Vanesa Hoxha has the story.
On Tuesday, February 28th, Special Olympics Chicago held its track and field time trials event at Dr. Conrad Worrell Indoor Track and Field Center. Athletes arrived at 10 a.m. and would leave around 1 p.m. There were 6 stations set up throughout the center. Some of the competitions included the 100-meter dash, long jump, shot put, and much more.
The high school athletes brought their A game today. Their scores today would determine placement for the spring game openings in May at Soldier Field. With about 1,000 athletes and coaches in attendance, the competition was hot.
The athletes gave their all on the track and had their fun off the track as well. I spoke with junior Trishawn Pickett, who competes with Lindenblum Math and Science Academy, about his favorite event and what it was like to be a part of his team.
Well, they run the track. Yep.
What's it like being a part of this team?
Like being with my peoples. Like being here with the family. Then getting a great time here.
Lindenblum's coach, Marco Dunas, then expressed what it was like to be out here with his team.
It's awesome. We've been doing this for 6 years now, and it's always a good, fun time. These kids are some of the best kids in our program, and I'm glad I get to coach them.
Red shirts were scattered throughout the center. These red shirts were volunteer students from St. Lawrence High School. This is what volunteering meant to them.
Volunteering is seeing all the kids' reactions after they finish their races. It really shows that none of them are any different than any of us. The level of competition can go through everybody. Everybody here is the same. Everyone's equal. Some might just need a little bit more help than others. And it really just shows a different side of the world that, you can get used to. You can see different cultures.
Eileen Glenna oversees all Special Olympics Chicago events. She describes this organization in 2 words.
Inspiring and fun. Inspiring, these guys are out here working hard every single day. They're training at their parks, at their schools, at their agencies. And fun is because, look around, it's fun. These guys are having a blast. They love hanging out with their teammates. They love, showing off their skills, and they love interacting with their volunteers.
To learn more about Special Olympics Chicago and to get involved, be sure to check out sochicago.org. Reporting from Gately Park for RSL, I'm Vanessa Hoxha.
Thanks, Vanessa. The Special Olympics are May 9th through 12th, and we wish the runners the best of luck. In other news, opening weekend of this year's men's NCAA tournament brought the madness, and every bracket was busted once again. It's time to talk more March Madness. William Bazzone takes us through the biggest upsets so far.
Nate, Glenna, people of the internet, March has truly been mad. During the first weekend of the NCAA men's basketball tournament, we saw some unbelievable upsets. The Furman Paladins, a 13 seed, hit a last-second three-pointer to stun the Virginia Cavaliers. For the 3rd straight year, a 15 seed is in the Sweet 16, the Princeton Tigers. There are also 2 number 1 seeds who have packed their bags early. The Kansas Jayhawks lost a close one to the 8th-seeded Arkansas Razorbacks. Biggest of all, the Fairleigh Dickinson Knights shocked the Purdue Boilermakers, becoming just the 2nd 16 seed in history to take down a number 1 seed. And we'll see how many more Cinderella stories get written during the regional semifinals and finals this weekend. For Rambler Sports Locker, I'm William Bazzone.
Thanks, William. Let's shift our focus back to the Ramblers.
Some new faces will be joining Loyola Athletics next year. Vanessa Hoxha is back to tell us about some of the new blurs on the block.
As we spring forward, we are springing in to softball season. Happy 2nd day of spring, everyone, and welcome back to New Blurs on the Block. This week's new blur, a freshman outfielder on the Loyola women's softball team, Sierra Sass. From Orland Park, Illinois, Sass joins the Ramblers and made her debut in the batting order and on the field on Wednesday, March 9th in Fairfax, Virginia. Sass faced George Mason's pitchers 3 times on Wednesday and hit 2 doubles, going 2 for 3 with a stolen base against the Patriots. According to Loyola Athletics, the Marist High School graduate assisted her team to a state championship in 2021 and was an honorable mention All-State pick that same year. You can see Sass and the rest of the women's softball team take the field for their first at-home match of the season in the A10 this weekend, March 25th and 26th. Saturday's doubleheader against the St. Joseph Hawks begins at noon, as well as Sunday's match. For Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Vanesa Hoxha.
Thanks, Vanessa. I'm excited to see those new Blurs in action. Women's volleyball is back after claiming the Atlantic 10 championship title last year. Here is reporter Samantha Martinez to share what fans can look forward to this fall.
I'm here today at the home of Loyola Athletics to talk about the start of the women's volleyball season. The reigning A10 champions start off the spring season with the 6-match exhibition schedule. The team this season added on 2 new players, defensive specialist Jordan Bruckner and middle blocker Avery DeBlake. The team's last game was on March 17th against DePaul University. And next up, they will face the University of Wisconsin-Green Bay on March 25th, a team they haven't played since 2012. For Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Samantha Martinez.
Thanks, Samantha. Loyola's men's volleyball team suffered its first conference loss and broke a 10-match winning streak against Purdue Fort Wayne on Saturday. The team is still ranked 9th in the country. And Loyola's softball team is taking on the St. Joseph Hawks at home this weekend in a 3-game series. As they say, good things come in threes.
That wraps up this episode of Rambler Sports Locker.
To stay up to date on all things Rambler Sports, be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Loyola RSL and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
From all of us here at Rambler Sports Locker, I'm Nate Keough.
And I'm Glenna Wethington.
We'll see you next week, and don't forget to turn off the lights.